Uncle Pablo in the house. Welcome. Share the link and we will start just about now. All right. Turn down the crackle a little bit, the folk songs. All right, it's showtime, people. Morning, neighbor, morning. Greetings to the friends and fans of Pablo's Kreleese Korner. My name is James Paul, also known as Uncle Pablo. I'm the proud producer and host of Pablo's Kreleese Korner, also known as the Karna. This is the show dedicated to keeping Guyana's rich Creolese culture alive through music, poetry, storytelling, and edutainment. Welcome to the Karna. Ayo! Before we get into the show, let's do like we always do and give thanks and praises to the Most High, the great creator who's responsible for this reality we call life. Secondly, let's give thanks and praises to the ancestors, all right? Because they went through a lot so that we could be here. So you, me, all of us are here because of what our ancestors went through, all right? Creolese is actually symbolic of that persistence and strength of our ancestors. So big up to the ancestors. And finally, to anyone, and there's quite a few of us, going through some tough times right now, whether you're feeling depressed, whether you're lonely, whether you lost your job or you lost a loved one, we're in the midst of a pandemic, and I've lost quite a few friends and neighbors, and you too as well have lost some loved ones. So my message to you today is to hang in there, stay strong, stay positive. This too shall pass. Ayo! Bring out the drums here, you know. Yo, so the theme for today's show is compassion and consciousness. It's Black History Month, so we wanted to fuse those two themes together. So it would be compassion and Black consciousness. And in that vein, I want to begin the show by quoting an iconic African-American pugilist. And he said, "Don't count the days." I repeat, don't count the days, make the days count. Ayo, that's deep, right? And that resonated with me because, you know, I recently turned 60, 61 actually. And when I was like 19 or 20, 60 or 61 seemed so old, right? But now that I'm there, it doesn't seem that old, right? Isn't it funny how that works? Anyway, so now that I'm 61, I'm losing friends who are in their 50s and their 60s, some in their 70s. And I'm thinking, man, I don't have much time left, right? So I find myself counting the days. But this quote by Muhammad Ali, right, who is that great Afro-American pugilist and poet as well, don't count the days, make the days count. That means a lot. So I've decided to make my days count. Whatever number they are, I'm gonna make each day count, starting today. All right. So I'm challenging you all to make your days count. Don't count the days. Ayo. All right. So I'm gonna go through the rundown quickly. You can see it right here on my my virtual background. Makes my job a lot easier. So we're in the welcome message right now. That's the first one right here. Next, we'll have an opening Creolese proverb. And I've got to give a big shout out to Brother Sheikh Hassan, right, who published a collection of, it's called Demerara, a small booklet of Guyanese proverbs. So Demerara is a collection of Guyanese proverbs from which I source my proverbs that I feature on the Creolese Karna. All right, so we start with an opening Creolese proverb and we'll jump right into the show, which is a featured Creolese poem, Oil and Water by Maggie Harris. We're very honored. I am very honored to have a Guyanese writer and award-winning writer and poet, Sister Maggie Harris on the show today. After her narration, which is recorded of Oil and Water, I will share that with you. we will have a live interview with Sister Maggie. So I'm looking forward to that segment. Yo, then another award-winning Guyanese artist, Errol Brewster, will tell us about his recent venture of recreating the portraits of two Black revolutionaries, British Guyanese revolutionaries, who were part of the 1823 slave revolt in Guyana. And those two characters are AMBA and Jack. But I'll let Brother Errol tell you more about that. All right. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to fuse Brother Errol's video interview with his tribute, because Errol Brewster is also our featured artist today. All right. Then what I will do is I will narrate our featured Creolese story for today, which is Do I Look Like Two People by Brother Jam Morian, which will be followed by two recorded performances by PablOGtee, yours truly, excuse me, that's AHOODA, and we'll also do Feeling Nice. Let's make sure I got that right. Feeling Nice Today by our acoustic musical storyteller, Brother Alfred Adams. We'll wrap up the show with a sponsor shout out, closing proverbs, Creolese proverb, and we'll have our birthday shout outs, announcements, and closing remarks. Now, what I'd like to do, as I mentioned in the pre-show, is during this announcement section and shout outs, is to give members of our stage audience, these are the people in the front row seats, the VIPs who were on the Zoom stage today, welcome to the stage. I'll give each of you an opportunity if you'd like to give a birthday shout out, or if you'd like to make a short plug about your business or any ventures you're involved in, okay? So just hit me up on the chat, or you can send me a message in Messenger. And actually the chat, the Zoom chat is probably best. Just hit me up and I'll write your name down and I'll call you out at the end of the show so you can do your thing, all right? So, yo, so without any further ado, let's get into our opening Creolese proverb. So give me a moment to share that screen with you and we'll get that started. Our opening Creolese proverb for today is smart man got lockjaw, stupid man mouth a run pon wheel. Ayo. I repeat, smart man got lockjaw, stupid man mouth a run pon wheel. So what does that mean? Like I said, our Guyanese proverbs are very deep. You got to break them down for most people. It means that a smart person knows when silence or restrained speech is needed. Ayo. But stupid people do not know when to shut their mouths. All right? In other words, their mouth not got breaks. So our opening proverb, Creolese proverb for today is, smart man got lockjaw, stupid man mouth a run pon wheel. Ayo. All right, let me stop the share and get on to the next segment. Stop. All right. So next, I'm very honored to feature a poem narrated by Sister Maggie Harris, and I'll give you just a short bio, but I'll have her talk about what she has done and what she's all about in her live interview. So Sister Maggie Harris hails from New Amsterdam, so she's a fellow New Amsterdamer. And she is an award-winning poet and author. She's published 6 collections of poetry, 3 collections of short stories, and a memoir called Kiskadee Girl, right? Her awards include the Welsh Poetry Award, the Guyana Prize, and the Commonwealth Short Story Prize. So we are with royalty here today, all right? So I'm gonna leave the rest of the storytelling to Sister Maggie, and without any further ado, Let's share her narration of Oil and Water.
Oil and water. Guyana, Guyana, land of many waters. Guyana, Guyana, land of many waters. There are refugees in the Caribbean Sea, fleeing from starvation and no electricity. Venezuelans crossing the Gulf of Paria, small boats rocking in the rough black waters. Listen to their cries in the wind. Oil and water don't mix, let me tell ya. Oil and water don't mix. In Trinidad, oil made some rich. Now oil and gas both pumping. And the rich stay rich, but the poor stay poorer. What will happen in Guyana? Oil and water don't mix, let me tell ya. Oil and water don't mix. Who remember the man with the ink-stained hands, draw round the shape of a calabash bowl, drip his quill in the ink with his long white hands, said, here, this land is mine, mine, mine. Who give him permission? No parrot, no jaguar, no laba. Who give him permission? No agouti, no commodity, no manatee. Who give him permission? No greenheart tree, no mora, no crabwood, no ants, no cassava. Mine, mine, mine. Raindrop pause in the center of falling, say, yes, absolutely. Place this teardrop on the Spaniard side, this one on the Dutch side, this one on the English side. Yes, absolutely. The river running crazy like a wild man from way up who know where, some mountain top, some stream. He and Mr. Rain in liaison, spit and bubble and run. He get the conversation going, get the conversation flowing. Transformation. River turn waterfall, waterfall turn rapid, full flow, jungle flow, catapulting down, singing all kind of chorus. Down to the river, down to the river. Is me happy cutting through the jungle, hollering and warning, get out the way. Swallowing whole trees and mangrove roots, tumbling alongside piranha and water snake, eel and otter, all living and eating and mating and dying. The riverbed trembling with bones, with fossils, calcium deposit. And don't forget the gold, the sought for gold. And after that the mercury and the belly up fish. So if you have a chance to swallow and drown and chop and slice, is do, he do. What he know about responsibility? Does he know these trees are our lungs? Just ordered over the border now, the men with machetes slice and burn and chop and burn, and who know the names of the silent people hiding in the wake of the chopped down trees? Did anybody ask them? Anybody ask them? Anybody know their names? Did anyone say, is this land your land? Speaking for the water, remember Mama Water. Remember the daughters stolen from Africa, searching for the goddess who couldn't remember her name. Speaking for the water, oh land of many waters, Guyana, Guyana. But now the black gold fine is a different thing altogether. It's not just cutlass, not just woodcutter, not just driller and digger walking hand in hand, not just a coolie man now, a black man now, why not just Makusi? For oil and water don't mix, make I tell ya, oil and water don't mix. Oil and water don't mix, make I tell ya, oil and water don't mix. And who will take us to Oh My now that Wilson Harris has gone? Who will take us to Oh My? Who will row us across, guide us across the deep black, satin black wilderness? All the red and white of us, all the yellow and black of us, all the plantation children of us, all the overseer Massa Pickney, all the blue-eye long hair of us, all the Douglas, the curly hair, the poets, all the rabbis, the ogimen, the pundit, all. For oil and water don't mix, oil and water don't mix, oil and water don't mix.
Ayo, ayo, let me stop the share. That was beautiful, Sister Maggie. All right. Fans of the Karna, Pablo's Kreleese Korner, I'm honored today to have as our second featured guest. Remember last week we had our acoustic music storyteller and friend of the show, Brother Alfred Adams. Well, this week we have award-winning author and poet, my friend, Sister Maggie Harris. And she has just narrated her one of her poems, which is titled Oil and Water, which is in her album or CD, I should say, collection, which is titled Mother Town, I should say,
Mother Town,
which has, I think, 19 of her poems, a few of them by other poets as well. But I will ask her about this and you'll get a chance to pick up your copies as well. So, Sister Maggie, welcome to the Karna.
Thank
you.
It's a
pleasure having you. You're absolutely welcome. So let's get right into the question and answers because I have lots of questions.
Okay.
The first simple question is, for the audience, for members who don't know you, who is Maggie Harris?
Who is Maggie Harris? Well, a writer of prose and poetry, a mom, a Guyanese to the bone, a gardener, a few things there to start with.
All right, thank you, Sister Maggie. That was good. And so I know you're from New Amsterdam, Guyana, right? And many of the members in the audience are in the diaspora as well. So we all made that journey from Guyana to some other part of the world, looking for greener pastures, right?
Yes.
So
yes.
Help us understand, when did you leave and why did you leave?
Oh, a long time ago, Pablo. It was 1971.
Okay.
And my dad died just a couple of years ago.
Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that.
No, before that. You know,
before 71.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah, 1969. So
okay.
my mom just had the 4 girls, you know, to look after. Yep. And she came over to the UK because her brother lived here.
Okay.
And that's how we ended up in the UK, yeah. But I spent 17 very happy years.
Wow,
in Guyana.
nice. Now, you had mentioned to me that you grew up on St. John Street, correct?
Yes.
Nice. So what are your memories of St. John Street as a youngster?
Well, they used to call it the Bend Street.
The Bend?
Because it was a straight, the Bend Street.
Oh, yes, that's right. It's curved.
You remember that? It used to do a little curve, yes?
Yes.
And yes, it was, you know, you remember in Guyana, especially girl children, you spend a lot of time looking out the window.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what you're allowed to do. So those are my first memories. But my first memory was actually falling out that window, Pablo.
Really?
I fell out of a 2-story upstairs window and nearly bust my head.
So how old were you when you fell?
2.5.
What?
2.5. It's fastness. You know what I mean?
That sounds like a poem right there, Sister Maggie.
I fell out, yes, looking out, and I was quite poorly. I had to go to the Amsterdam hospital and get stitches and stuff, you know. But
oh my goodness.
The thing about it is that it's the first memory.
Yes.
Which is young, isn't it, to remember such a thing.
Yes. Now that was traumatic. I mean, I have a similar experience which I shared in the story. But this was under All Saints Church as a youngster. I was probably about 9 or 8 at the time. I was being nosy, and the church had some huge pillars. It was only about maybe 3 feet high, and something scared me and my friends, and I raised up and bumped my head into a pillar.
Oh Lord!
There's blood everywhere, but
oh Lord! Well, you know, there's not enough sense in your head then.
I know. That's why I'm a little crazy, you know. Do people tell you you're a little crazy?
Yes.
They tell me I'm a little crazy, so you know that's a good thing.
That's why we're poets.
Exactly. There you go. There you go. Wonderful.
Yes.
All right. Well, let's talk about poetry, right? Now, what inspired you to start writing, and when did you write your first poem?
Well, I was quite young, you know, Pablo. What I used to do was try and write songs, because, you know, we Guyanese like our music, and my ear was always pasted at that radio, you know?
Absolutely. Mm-hmm.
And I used to try and write songs and hum the music, but of course I couldn't write music, so I was left with the words.
Okay.
You know, and when I was going to high school, which was Berbice High School, we used to have a school magazine, and I used to write for that. So I started to write since then, which was quite young, 13, something like that.
Nice.
Yes.
Okay.
And yes. So do you want me to talk more about poetry?
No, how about the people that inspired you? Who were your favorite poets at the time that you admired?
At the time when we were in high school, to be honest, we just studied what we were given, right? So we would have studied the English poets like Tennyson, Shakespeare, Robert Burns, the Scottish poets, and not really very much Guyanese poets. So I wouldn't say at that age I had any kind of favorite, but I liked the lyricism of the poems. You know, I remember writing down words from Tennyson in my diary when I was about 13 or 14.
Right.
So that must have got me, you know, and I really enjoyed it at school and the performance element, because we used to read out sometimes in the drama club and different things.
Right. Which school was that again?
Berbice High.
Berbice High. Okay, nice.
Yes, and the teachers were very, very good.
Do you remember any names of teachers?
There was one called Bonnie Ferguson.
Okay.
I think she was a VSO. You know, VSOs used to go and teach. His voluntary service overseas. They used to have teachers from the UK and from America.
Nice.
Used to come and like spend a year or two, and you know, and we loved hanging out with them because they were from over there.
Yes.
You know,
Yes.
Yes. So I did a lot of drama and things like that. So
wonderful. Yeah. So how was it adjusting to life? So you come from Guyana, you're a teenager. Did you actually finish high school in Guyana before you came?
Yes, I did. Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I did.
Nice.
I was 17.
So what were your earliest impressions of the UK? Was it what you had dreamed?
Oh, that's a very complex question, you know. Oh my God. No, it was very, very different. And to be honest, when I first came, I really, really missed my friends. Because you know how we in Guyana, we're close to our friends, you know, the sunshine, we're outside, we're liming, we're doing this, we're doing that.
Yes.
And to suddenly have that cut off and be in a strange country was the hardest thing. It was the friends, because I was still a young teenager.
Right.
You know? But I didn't really get back into the poetry until a few years later. Okay. You know, after I got married, and I was also an artist as well. So I used to concentrate more on the drawing.
Yes.
You know, drawing bits and pieces and having some in exhibitions around the county. Yeah. So I used to do that when my children were young. Nice. You know, and then the writing kept nudging me because I felt I had things to write about.
Absolutely.
You know?
Absolutely.
So I started going to creative writing classes.
Yes.
You know, and that really inspired me because I learned a whole heap of things I didn't know.
Right.
You know?
Awesome. That's amazing. Now,
yeah.
Now, what would you say is the most fulfilling moment of your writing or artistic career?
Oh, it has to be when I won the Guyana prize.
Nice.
You know, oh Lord, I mean, that just came out the blue, and I was so excited because I'd gone to university when I was 39, right? That's a big old age. That's a big old age.
You already had a family?
Yes, my kids, the youngest one was about 4.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's when I went to university, and it was there I was learning all the Caribbean poetry that we didn't learn in Guyana.
Isn't that something? So you had to go to England to learn about.
Yes, man, yes. You know, I didn't know who all these people were. I felt so stupid, you know, and I was thinking this, you know, this is those are the, you know, those people who, you know, it all led to me, you know, achieving my own writing, you know, my first book, and you know, it all came from there.
Yeah.
You know, so certainly.
Because I can just imagine the sense of pride, because these people look like me, they talk like me, and they're famous, you know, so that must have been a source of inspiration for you.
Yes, I remember the first inspiration was Grace Nichols. Have you heard of Grace Nichols?
I have.
The
She's the spouse of John
right? Agard. Yes,
exactly,
yes. Well, her collection, I Am a Long-Memoried Woman, which won her the Commonwealth Prize. That thing really got into my head, because I was thinking, oh my God, you mean we can write about things like that?
Right.
You know, the imagination and the journey, and you know, yes.
Absolutely. Well, what I will do now, I wish we had more time, but you must promise to come back on a later show in the year. Can I count on you to come back? Okay, because we have so much to talk about. But in the interest of time, I want to move into my next question, which is going to be a bit of trivia. I'm going to put you on the spot. All right. I will challenge your memory as a New Amsterdamer. And I have a few New Amsterdamers on the show as well. So I will name a street corner, and you will tell me a landmark that you remember from your years living there as a teenager and as a toddler. Okay. So are you ready? You ready, Sister Maggie? All right. Yes. So let's go. I'll give you a softball. Since you grew up on St. John Street, St. John's and Main Street. First landmark that comes to mind.
The church and the rum shop.
The church, I remember, Roman Catholic Church, correct? And
Betty's rum shop. You were younger than me.
Where was Betty's rum shop in relation to the church?
That was just at the top of Pope Street, which is the next one to St. John, right at the corner.
I vaguely remember that.
You remember that?
I vaguely remember that, because I would have been quite young then. But I do remember there being a liquor store over there. Yes. Absolutely. Yes. I think they played pools as well. Did they play pool?
Oh, I didn't go in there. Oh. You want my mother to lick my ass?
I'm sorry. I think maybe you heard from your older friends.
You pass, and you know, your parents tell you to make sure you're right on the other side.
All right. You know, so here is the second one, and I'll give you one more, then we'll wrap up this segment. Okay. So Pitt Street and Water Street.
Well, you're talking about the market.
There you go. Man, you're good at this. Wonderful. All right. So you've got one more. Market. So you've got 2 out of 3 right so far. You're doing pretty good.
Right. All right. Am I getting a prize?
Absolutely. So now the final one is you'll get, the prize will be a copy of Pepper Pot, which is my latest Creolese single. So you will get this as your prize.
Excellent.
We already won it because you got 2 out of 3, but let's see if you can nail the third one, which is Chapel Street and Main Road. Go.
Chapel Street, oh my Lord. It's not the Gaiety Cinema. Not the cinema. No.
You got to come back a little.
Another church. A baker's?
No, not on the corner. This is kind of a tough one. I'm not sure that these landmarks were there when you were there, but they could have been.
Ah, well.
There's one famous one. I'll give you a hint. Food. Another hint would be Chinese food. Yep.
The Chinese restaurant.
Yep, and the name of it was.
No, I can't remember.
Okay.
I should know, but I can't remember.
Yes. So you got half of it right. It was a Chinese. It's Lim Kang.
Oh, right.
So Lim Kang is right on the corner of Chapel and Church Street. So you did pretty good. You did pretty good. All right.
Okay, so thank you.
Congratulations. Now we have a surprise co-host who's going to jump in right now, and he has a few questions for you. And his name is none other than acoustic musical storyteller, Brother Alfred Adams. So, Brother Alfred, the floor is all yours, my brother.
Yes. Good morning. How you guys doing?
All right. Let me
Hello.
Can you hear me, Miss Maggie?
Yes, I can. Hi, Alfred.
How are
I
you doing
can't
today?
see you, but I can hear you.
Well, I'm following instructions. I'm supposed to be coming on in audio only. So,
No, no, you can come on,
Oh,
Alfred. No,
and
no, not you're a
and,
co-host, brother.
and plus I'm in the shower. So, um,
Well, it's up to you. It's your call. Just letting you know that you can, show your face if you want to. Yeah.
so I'm kidding. I'm not in the shower. Um, oh man, I thought I had my questions based on the poem,
Yeah.
but then you said so much about yourself, and then all these other questions popped into my head. So, how much time do I have, Pablo
You
GT?
have you have like 1 minute.
Ah,
I'll give you 3 minutes. Go ahead.
I appreciate that. So before I go any further, one correction. I heard you use the word stupid before. I think the extension stupidity is what you meant, right? Right,
That's the
Maggie? You
Maggie.
meant stupidity.
stupidity, yes, stupidity.
There you go. Okay.
Oh, yes, I called my husband that.
Stupidity.
Uh-huh.
Oh man. So that's the beauty of our Creolese, um,
Yes.
and is stupid is not stupid. It's
No, it's
stupid.
stupid. It's
Yes,
C.
chopedy. Yeah, yes,
Yes.
chopedy. So now you said you moved to England in 71, huh?
Yeah.
71. So that brings all kinds of questions into my head with regards to your experiences as a person from the Caribbean in that place, 71, based on what I've heard. And I had an aunt that moved to England back in the 60s, I think, the
Mm-hmm.
Bumberries, and they lived in Luton. So and I visited over there back in 19. But all kinds of the first thing that popped into my head is Linton Kwesi Johnson, who's also a poet from
Mm-hmm.
Jamaica, and he's done
Mm-hmm.
a lot of things based on the insurrection and all that stuff. So,
Yeah.
but I'll pass on those. I just want you to know that brought those types of questions into my head. But
Okay.
but listening to the poem, I felt as though I was eating a plate of cook up rice, like some split pea cook up rice because
Mm-hmm.
my question to you is, when did you write that poem?
That poem was written over the last year.
Oh, okay, then that
Yeah.
makes sense because it draws from the past and it draws from what's going on now, right?
Yes.
And basically, what I'm hearing is that here's all these things that we've had to deal with as a
Mm-hmm.
people in Guyana.
Mm-hmm.
And going all the way back to our ancestors, whether it be from
Yes.
Africa or India or the indigenous folks, whoever, right?
Mm-hmm.
So here it is, all these things that we've had to deal with, and we've called ourselves, six peoples, and
Mm-hmm.
and the land of many waters, right?
Mm-hmm.
So as we're trying to fix all of these things in the land of many waters, here comes the oil. And now oil and water don't mix. So it seems what I get from it, and that's the beauty about poetry. Folks are allowed to interpret, whatever they get from it. So what I
Mm-hmm.
get from it is, here's all these things in the land of many waters, and in comes the oil, and we haven't solved all of these problems,
Mm-hmm.
and now we have oil,
Mm-hmm.
and though it's bringing riches, there's still problems associated with that. And so now we have to deal with the mixture of all these other problems and the problems of the oil, despite it might be bringing riches. So I really appreciate that. The first time that I listened to it, I didn't have all these questions, and I'm speaking, and I'm not asking you any questions, but I feel inspired to tell you what I got from it, and I would like for you to tell me how incorrect I am.
You're not incorrect at all, because I mean, poems, obviously people will have some response to it in their own way. But yes, when I write, I think a lot about the past into the present, because you can't have a present without being aware of the past.
Yes.
So all those references I made are all part of our history. And I'm coming at it from a kind of ecological sense as well. You know, thinking about the earth and the water and how
Yes.
and
Yes.
how it is hurt and ruined by what we as
Right.
human beings do to it.
That's the literal
And
kind of sense. And yes.
yeah, and the question of, you know, the richness, people talk a lot about the richness that's going to come, but there is the big question, who's actually going to get the richness?
Yes. Yes. The
You
rich
know,
get richer,
that's,
like in Trinidad, as you said.
yeah,
Yes.
you know, we just have to wait and see.
Wonderful.
And it's a bit of a kind of poem really, in which I like to write about important things and see them in context, you
Yes.
know, of our whole journey,
Yes.
you know, because we don't
Nice.
come to anywhere from nothing, do we? You know, you have
Absolutely. Absolutely.
footsteps, you know, and how much we
Absolutely.
learn from them or not is another story.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, Brother Alfred. I'm gonna,
Wait a
in the
second.
interest of time,
You mean I'm
I
finished?
I
I'm
would
finished.
I hear the music playing in the background, so the producer's telling me we got to keep it moving, right?
Okay, Maggie. So I appreciate meeting you and
Thank
hearing
you.
your
Me
poem,
too. Thank you.
and I'm inspired to read some more of your stuff, and maybe one of these days, well, later on in the show, one of my works is going to be, I was promised, is going to be played. So
Oh, good.
Absolutely.
again, thank
Absolutely.
you, and
Good. Thank you.
thanks for being you. And
Okay.
the next time in England, I'll come knocking at your door.
Okay. I'm going to say AHOODA.
I like that. I like that.
Amida,
Pablo knows what I'm
Amida,
talking about.
I like
Amida.
that. I like that. Hey, man, Brother Alfred, Sister
Yes, thank you.
Maggie,
Thank
thank you
you.
both. Thank you,
Thank
Alfred,
you.
for being a co-host. So I wanted to wrap up this segment by giving Sister Maggie an opportunity to talk about her books and where fans who want to get a copy of her books or her poetry can go. So Maggie, the floor is yours, Sister Maggie.
Hi. Yes, Pablo. Well, this is a copy of my memoir, Kiskadee Girl, which is about
Raise
me
it up a
growing
little
up.
bit. Yep, there we go.
Yeah, this is about me growing up in Guyana. And it's prose. It's not in print right now, but I'm hoping to republish it as soon as I can.
Okay.
But I've got lots of poetry, lots of short stories, and a CD. So if anybody's interested, just get in touch with me, and I'll give you the links.
Wonderful. And I will share Maggie's contact information on the Creolese Corner page, Alfred's as well. So anyone who wants to reach out to any of them, they can, either of them, they can actually see that on the Creolese Corner page. It's Creolese with a K, Corner with a K. All right.
Okay,
Anything
thank
else?
you.
Any closing remarks, Sister Maggie?
Thank you so much for inviting me to be a guest. It's lovely to meet you, and thank you for
You're very welcome.
appreciating.
You're very welcome. You have a great weekend, and we'll see you
Thank
again
you.
on a future show, okay?
You too.
All
Okay,
right.
thank
Bye
you.
now.
Thank you,
All right.
Pablo.
Take care.
Bye.
You're welcome. All right. So moving right along. That was amazing. Narration and also the Q&A. And thank you again, Brother Alfred, for being a guest co-host from the Karna. Ayo!
You're very welcome, sir. You're very welcome.
All right. All right. So moving right along with the rundown, we're now at the featured article, which, as I mentioned, we'll combine the featured article and the featured Guyanese artist tribute because they involve the same person, who is none other than accomplished award-winning Guyanese author, and not author, but visual artist. And his name is Brother Errol Brewster. So the reason why I'm featuring this article, which is titled How AMBA and Jack Came Back, is because it was featured in Stabroek News, and there was also a Zoom meeting that I attended a few weeks ago in which the author of White Debt, Mr. Thomas Harding, was the featured speaker, and he was talking about his book. And in his book, he has portraits of AMBA and Jack. Now, let me frame this for you. Errol Brewster was on the Guyana Speaks Facebook page, and he saw a call for renditions or portraits of these two Black revolutionaries from the 19th century. Of course, there are no photographs of them. So Errol, as a portrait artist himself, felt motivated or inspired to really take up that challenge. So Errol, in a nutshell, read books about these characters, and based on what he read, he was able to create these amazing portraits of AMBA, who is a female Black revolutionary, and Jack Gladstone, who is the male revolutionary of that 1823 revolt in British Guyana. So I'm going to shut my big mouth right now and have you listen to Brother Errol Brewster. Here we go.
Really wanted to talk to you about the sort of, let's just say, the thinking that really went into imagining these two historical figures.
Making portraiture usually is just a matter of eye-hand coordination. By that I mean you observe keenly what is the material reality, and that's it. Out of that will come everything, because everything is in the visual. Everything about an individual is in the visual. I make an accurate portrait of you, and it will convey your personality and your character and all of that, yes? But in this instance, there is no material reality to be working from. So I got that. Now, the rest of it I have to get from what they're telling about his character and his personality. And his character and his personality is a very interesting one. And an influential person must mean that he had to have a certain aura, a certain presence. So these are the kinds of things that I'm using to figure out how Jack should look. So I'm building up a sense of what Jack is like. If he's charismatic and he's attractive to all these women, it means that he must have characteristics that women like. Women like powerful men. So I thought that he had to have a strong moral character. You know, he had to have an ennobling kind of appearance. So he had a fulsome forehead, and he had nicely chiseled jaws and a prominent chin. So I thought that his eyes had to be penetrating, but they had to show a sensitivity also. So these are the ways in which it's all kind of a reverse engineering. Yes, ordinarily portraiture, you are looking at the object and you're accurately rendering it. In this case, I am deducing from facts. So it's a kind of a reverse engineering. I don't know. My impression of young Black women is that at that stage in their life, they are what we call lissom. Lissom means what in Barbados they call broomstick. They're like this. Huh? All that behind and in front is not there when they're young women. So she was immediately, she had to have a kind of a wiry, gawky kind of look. Yes? So she has a long, thin neck, and her shoulders are narrow, but her eyes are baleful and big, and her hair shows the warriors that she is in command of. Yeah? When she stood outside of the overseer's house on that dark, cold morning, with her warrior men behind her silent, she's in absolute control. She's standing there with her gun, waiting for him to open the door. And when he does, she orders his arrest. She intends really to execute him. She is a woman of such strong conviction, such determination, such revolutionary fervor, that is, the warriors had to try to appease her.
How does this sort of, the artwork that you did, how does it sort of speak to the type of artist you are?
History is a very important thing to me as an artist. That is the food that I'm eating to output some statement, yes? And I think that were there to be a greater interest and a greater facilitation for the study of history in our schools, literature too. it would improve how we are. We would have a better sense of ourselves. So it being a historical kind of requirement, and it also having a revolutionary aspect to it, people wanting to take their freedom and to control their own affairs and to shape their own destiny. But those things are central to how I operate as an artist. Huh?
Right. Wonderful. Thank you, Brother Errol Brewster. Let me stop the share, get back to the program. Again, you're watching Pablo's Kreleese Korner, show number 11 on Facebook Live. And that was a live interview done by NEWSROOM of artist Errol Brewster, who is a friend
pretty awesome,
and an accomplished visual artist. He's also the featured artist on today's show. So what I will do in the interest of time, we did feature Brother Errol in an earlier show back last year. So that we can fit in all of the items on today's program, what I will do is I will focus on an article or a section of an article that was in the Stabroek News about the same topic, how AMBA and Jack came back. And this section is near and dear to Errol's heart. So I'm going to focus on that. Then I'll give you a few links where you can reach him to get a portrait done, for example, okay? Or purchase one of his many award-winning visual pieces, all right? So in the article, Errol has a few requests of the government of Guyana, right? And in his words, he said, and I quote, "I hope to parlay this visualizing of these two important historical figures into the commissioning of local artists by the Guyana government and the private sector to involve our young people in the creation of a series of large fresco murals of the significant leaders of our historical resistance efforts, and to also embed them in our currency," right? So he's asking that the government look into getting not only murals of our historical figures, but also to embed them into our currency. This way, Brother Errol adds, people may have them at hand to bring to bear on us in a directly felt manner, our awesome responsibility to be free of domination, local or foreign. So that's powerful right there. In addition, he says a celebration of the 1823 revolt with a $200 coin in 2023. How about that, right? I second that. And finally, as a fitting tribute to our ancestors, let us rename Middle Street along which the decapitated heads of freedom fighters were placed on stakes to dissuade further attempts to be free. So Middle Street was actually where these, the imperialists, the plantocrats, if you will, placed the decapitated heads of these freedom fighters to deter any further resistance or revolt. So Brother Errol is requesting that the government rename Middle Street to the Avenue of the 1823 Demerara Revolt. And I second that, all right? So big shout out to Brother Errol. And what I will do now is share a few of his pieces and we'll move on to the next segment, all right? So, right, so we have here is a collection of Brother Errol Brewster's artworks. And this is on saatchiart.com. So that's SAATCHI art.com. And a few of his pieces include, as you can see here, a Prince of Kitty, right? And I'll blow that up for you. So Prince of Kitty, as you know, as you may not know, Errol hails from Kitty, Georgetown. That's where he grew up, I think. And so this is a piece titled Prince of Kitty, all right? And I will share more of these on the page, but in the interest of time, let me just share one more. My computer's a little slow today. I think I've got too many Too many pages open. One of my favorites here is, let's see. So something about the revolution. Oh, yeah, here we go. Seasons of Resistance is one of his pieces. Another piece is titled A Midnight Dream Time Walking. But I will share all of these images on the Creolese Korner Facebook page. And you'll have a chance to either contact Brother Errol directly and get a portrait done, or get a, pick up one of his prints, okay? So I will share his contact information on the page as well. And so thank you again, Brother Errol Brewster. You are a featured artist, and keep up the good works there, my brother. All right, so let's stop that share and get back to the program. All right, we've got about 10 plus minutes left. So let's move right into the next segment, which is the featured Creolese story. I think we're running a bit over time, but hopefully you'll bear with me. And we'll do the Creolese story now, which is a narration of a story titled, Do I Look Like Two People? Which was written and submitted by Brother Jocelyn or Jam Morian, who is a frequent contributor to the show, also a member of Gaia Spawn. Big shout out to Gaia Spawn and the founder, Dr. John Sumner, senior admins and admins. Many of the things that I'm doing here, are skills that I learned doing similar programs on Gaia Spawn. So big shout out to Gaia Spawn. All right, so let's do this now. Let's read the short story by Jim Morian, Do I Look Like Two People? Millicent is one strapping woman living quietly by herself up the East Coast. Since she's small, she always highfalutin with herself because she grew up with her auntie. She auntie was one highty-tighty woman who always with she cames, tooks, and wents. She'd left Millicent with all she property. So Millicent, they're good. All she money in the bank. And Millicent, oh no. When Millicent dress up and a walk down a dam, everybody a ton for watch. She was one real looker, yeah. Man and woman does admire she and how she walk. Them say, when you see she from a backside, I share lime, tomato, and celery seasoning, you see. Let me take a bite. She does feel nice when people are watching and I shake them head. But she becks bad when them gishy false name. After Kitchener, that's Lord Kitchener, make a song with Audrey. Them little boy a village start hide and call she Audrey. One little manish one named Scully, believe he a man and walk up in she face and go for call she Audrey. Just as he say, I saw Millicent Callahan with one hand and I saw you tiptoe and I beg Millicent. And Millicent fold she other hand and tell him, you say you say right? So Millicent say, you say only say Audrey, only say Dree, right? The hand waiting to back see if he said Dree. So the boy start beg, oh, Miss Millicent, I'm not gonna call you so again, Miss sorry. Everybody know you not call your false name in front of your face. You can talk all you want behind your back. And then later Shadow, that's the Calypsonian from Trinidad, R.I.P. Shadow sing one song about Emily. And everybody like the song, even Millicent like the song, because she know when she a walk, it's such a boom, shabaloom, a roll. but nobody not call she Emily in front of your face. All them a do, I play a song and watch when she a walk and roll she boom balloon. One Christmas, she uncle from away send message, let she meet them a tongue early one Saturday morning. You know how them conductor a pack up them bus backpack. Millicent sit at one seat near the window. A conductor tell she got for smiling herself. See, conductor says smiling yourself because the seat carrying three. She look at the woman next to she, look up at the notice, count how much people in the bus, and tell them, okay, more people are come for jam the bus, but Millicent not shift one bit. So Millicent take up 3 space. A conductor tells you, Miss Lady, just he said, Miss Lady. Millicent breaks you up. My name is Millicent, sir, she says. Okay, miss, whatever you say your name is. This is the conductor now. You're going to got for pay for 2 seats because you're so damn big. Millicent replied, what is the fare to Georgetown, conductor? Millicent asked him. $3.60. He said, the conductor said. Thanks. Millicent take out your Mills and Broom and start to read. Mills and Broom is a book. When a bus reach a town, she take out your money and give and walk away. The bus conductor check her money and see only $3.60 she put in his hand. He left all them other passengers in the bus and run behind Millicent for tell she for pay for 1 more seat because she had 2 people. Millicent collar he with 1 hand and put 2 backhand slap on his face and ask him if she look like 2 people. Ayo! So that was our featured Creolese short story by Brother John Marion. And the title was, let's get the title right for you. Do I look like 2 people? All right, thank you, Brother Jam. Every contributor to the show gets a sponsored prize, I should say. So Brother Jam, sponsored prize is on the way. Sister Maggie, your sponsored prize is on the way as well. So let's move right along. The next item on the agenda, and just give us about 10 more minutes and we'll wrap it up. It's 11 o'clock now, but I ask you to bear with us. Let's move right along to the featured performance. And what I will do in the interest of time, I will not do AHOODA, which is my performance. I will do Feeling Nice Today by Brother Alfred Adams. Enjoy.
This is the time it all must come together. Riches defined by love degrees, for our love decree. Everyone, let's give it all of what we have. From righteous livings can only love reveal. So let the love unveil. Give yourself a party now, go for what you know. This movement is a hard thing, from only love will flow. With purpose in your song, bring it, sing it strong. And when the voice them lift, joy and heart will kiss. Feel it in your soul, was half now whole. One clarity, one strength, one unity. So when you hear this song, if you feel it strong, just sing along, just sing along. And we're feeling nice today, feeling good in every way. Nothing can disrupt my spirit. So if you feel this one, help me sing it. Whoa, 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 we're feeling nice today. Help me. Whoa, 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 we're feeling nice today. Whoa, 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 we're feeling nice today. Help me. Whoa, 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 we're feeling nice today. This is your time is now. This is we all for one, for all. We all for all. If everyone believe that better must come, then it will come. If everyone believe, just stand up strong, stand up strong. Give yourself a party, man. Give yourself a hug. Give your mouth a smile. Stay and dance a while with purpose in your song. Bring it, sing it strong. And when the voice them lift, joy and heart will kiss. Feel it in your soul. Was half now. Oh, one clarity, one strength, one unity. So when you hear this song, if you feel it strong, just sing along. Oh, and we're feeling nice today, feeling good in every way. Nothing can disrupt your spirit. So if you feel this one, help me sing it. Whoa, 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 we're feeling nice today. Help me. Whoa, 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 we're feeling nice today. Whoa, 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 we're feeling nice today. Help me. Whoa, 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 we're feeling nice today.
Hold on, still got signal. All right. Wonderful. So that was Feeling Nice Today, which I hope you enjoy. I know I did. I was jamming to that, brother.
I thank you,
that was amazing.
I thank you.
Thank you, my
I
brother.
hope you heard the tabla drums at the end, because I'm always thinking cohesion, and
Absolutely.
coming together.
I know you're a perfectionist, so
There's some tabla drums at the end.
definitely. All right, brother. Thank you for that piece. And my producer told me that we do have time to squeeze in Pablo's AHOODA,
Of course.
which was mentioned earlier on the show. So we'll go right ahead and share that with you. And then we'll wrap the show up in a few. I guess we'll probably wrap up around 11:15 if that's okay with you. So let's go with AHOODA. And this is one of my dub Creolese singles, which is on my new album, which is titled Pepper Pot. So I'm giving a shameless plug right now. And Pepper Pot is available at jsmoothfashion.com, or you can contact me to get a CD. You can get a downloadable CD at jsmoothfashion.com, or you can hit me up to get a copy. Here we go. All right, so I bring you AHOODA, which is the dub Creolese poem by Pablo. Enjoy. AHOODA, a dub Creolese giant. by Pablo. AHOODA was a man from the mining town of Linden. AHOODA had one farm deep in the hills near the mining town of Linden. By hand, AHOODA cleared the land. By hand, AHOODA farmed the land. AHOODA would soon become the greensman for the mining town of Linden. AHOODA used for walk from sun up till sun duck behind them trees. AHOODA was very proud. AHOODA was very loud. AHOODA changed the game when he add Ras to his name and one new crop to the farm deep in the hills of Linden. One day, Ras AHOODA find the natural mystic, and the greensman swingy dreadlocks and start for skant and chant. Over time, Ras AHOODA lost his mind deep in the hills of Linden. The Ras is now residing in Berbice in one gated community under the bridge of Kanji. Ayo. So that was AHOODA, and that was a little tongue in cheek. But
yes,
it actually reminds you of a saying that we all know if you're Guyanese and grew up in the 60s, 70s, or 80s, or even earlier. There's this thing about AHOODA, right? AHOODA say AHOODA when me say AHOODA. So I kind of channeled that inspiration to create that piece of dub Creolese poetry. So I hope you enjoyed it. What do you think, Alfred? Are you there?
I think it was pretty awesome, to tell you the truth.
Thank you, my brother.
I feel sad that he ended up under the Kanji Bridge.
Right,
but I guess there were some things that they didn't take care of when he was a little kid, you know.
There you go. So now, did you get the reference of Kanji Bridge, what that meant?
No, I didn't.
Right. So under the Kanji Bridge, and New Amsterdamers and Berbicians would know that, the mental asylum or madhouse is right there.
Yeah, that's what I figured. That's what I figured. Yeah,
so essentially, I mean, there's a true. I have a friend who was a soccer player, football player like myself, and he was brilliant on the field. I'm not going to mention his name, but my mom actually was a nurse at the mental hospital for many years. She was the I think she was second in charge. And so I would go to visit her as a teenager, or maybe, yeah. And so one day I'm in the compound, the gated compound of the mental hospital. And I heard someone say, James, that's my name, you know, James, what's going on? I'm like, I turn around and it's my friend from Linden, right?
Yeah.
So he was institutionalized because for some reason he had turned a Rasta. This is not to say that turning a Rasta could make you crazy, but he kind of got caught up in that wave of the Rastafarian movement in the 70s with Bob Marley and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And for some reason.
he ended up
the
there.
herb, yeah, the herb triggered his mental illness. And
Well, see, the thing is, and that's what I meant, because growing up, similar to your story, there was this guy called Afar. Everybody knows Afar. He was a dancer, you know, and
okay,
Afar issue was he was well spoken and he wanted to learn all the words in the dictionary. So Afar set out to learn every single word in the dictionary and in the thesaurus, and he ended up same way, you know.
oh my
So there's
goodness,
always something that's in you
yeah,
that could lead to that, you know. There's always something, and there's this heavy focus on trying to just learn every word in the dictionary that kind of set him off, you know.
absolutely,
So
yeah,
so
yeah,
so you never know, man. And there are tons of people in there who weren't involved in the herb or the English, you know.
right,
They end up,
exactly, exactly.
me
So that's
personally,
why,
I think as a kid, I think I have ADHD, to tell you the truth, you know.
okay,
And I think, but when we were growing up, nobody was diagnosing that kind of stuff, you know.
true
But
that,
it's
true
something
that,
you learn to live with, you know. But I think it's mild, but I think I do have
yeah.
ADHD
Yeah,
thing.
yeah. Well, we all do. I think there's a benefit from being compulsive in some ways, right?
Yes,
So if you
yes,
think of studying or completing a project when there's a time constraint, right?
yes,
People who have ADHD or people or tend to kind of are able to multitask and kind of get things done
I guess.
with perfection. Yeah.
Or
So
they
there's a
try
good
to do
side
too
to it.
many. They try to do too many things. That's why parents
Yeah.
used to give you
Yeah.
Sanatogen when tests was coming. I don't know if you remember
Hi.
Sanatogen.
Thank you, brother. Thank you for
Sure, man,
that bit
sure
of
now.
insight. All right, welcome. All right, so moving right along, that was AHOODA by PablOGtee and Feeling Nice Today by Brother Alfred Adams. So thank you, Brother Alfred, once again. Now let's go on to a sponsor shout out. And I want to give a quick shout out to my very good friend, Brother Raj Tribuan, who is visually challenged, lives in Canada, and he has a great foundation called the Raj Foundation. That's THERAJ Foundation. And his vision for this foundation is to support the visually challenged brothers and sisters in Guyana and Suriname. I spoke with Raj for about an hour or so last week. He wanted to talk. He said, Pablo, we always texting each other. Call me, man. Call me, let me get off. So I called Brother Raj, and we had a nice gap. And Brother Raj said that his latest project, he was sending these canes down to Guyana. So you go to the rajfoundation.com, you make a donation, and Raj's foundation will ensure that our brothers and sisters in Guyana who are visually challenged can get the equipment they need to live more comfortable lives. So big shout out to Brother Raj. Keep up the good work, my brother. All right, so let's move right along into the closing Creolese proverb. And let me just share the screen for a second. Please bear with me. So, drum roll. The closing Creolese proverb for today's show from the Karna is even rose bush got plimpla. All right, so I'm going to repeat that. Even rose bush got plimpla. And for my non-Guyanese friends, plimpla means thorns. So you know the rose thorns, that's what we call plimpla in Guyana. All right. Now, what does that mean? That means that even saints or the most reputable people have vices or flaws. All right. So let's remember that nobody is perfect. So our closing proverb is even rose bush got plimpla. Ayo. So let's stop the share and get back to the main page. And which brings us to the final segment of our show today. I want to thank you all for being a part of today's show. Hopefully it was better than last month's, I should say. And we're going to wrap things up with the birthday shout outs, announcements, and closing remarks. All right, so I want to take this opportunity to give a birthday shout out to my good friend Savvy Sinat, who celebrated a birthday this week. Happy birthday, Savvy. Another friend who is a poet from Brooklyn, New York. His name is Prince McNally. So Prince celebrated a birthday yesterday, I think. Happy birthday, Brother Prince. And then a fellow New Amsterdamer, Joe Benjamin, Brother Joe, all the way in the UK. Brother Joe celebrates a birthday today. So happy birthday, Brother Joe. And I want to take this opportunity right now to make an announcement, which I kind of hinted at early on, and I will share this page with you. Again, this is about my, let's see, Google, here we go. All right, so what you're seeing here is my website, which is jsmoothfashion.com. And on this website, I've got a copy, a digital copy of Pepper Pot, which is an album with 10 dub Creolese singles. The titles are I Been There, AHOODA, Ayo Ayo, Mr. Leonard, Auntie Dinah, Dip It, King Pepper Pot, We're Going On, One Day Soon, Until the Music Ends, right? So some of you may be familiar with it, but the digital album is available on jsmoothfashion.com. You can go there, buy the album. It's only $10. It's $1 a song, and you'll be supporting my creativity, right? I appreciate that. Additionally, if you, let me stop the share. You may have received, let's see. You purchase one of those CDs and you will get, the first 20 buyers will get a copy of this lovely t-shirt, which has the album on it. That's style 1, or style 2, which has Pepper Pot written on it with dub Creolese and PablOGtee. All right, so I like to reward people who support me, all right? Because hand wash, hand make, hand clean, all right? So some of you may have received your t-shirt so far, and that's my reward to you for supporting my creativity along the way. So thank you so much. Enjoy your t-shirts, and I look forward to creating more dub Creolese for you in the future, all right? Now, I wanted to give anyone on the stage an opportunity right now to come on and tell us a little bit about your creativity or your business. Each of you would have, a few minutes. So I'm going to call on my cousin, Romeo, also known as Kevin Henry. I see he's on the show. So Kevin, the floor is all yours, my brother. Welcome to the Karna.
It was, listening to the show today was quite insightful. It's good to see that some people are still trying to keep the culture alive, because I think in large parts it's dying, especially back home. You go home now and everything is kind of more American than Guyanese.
Yes.
And that worries me. It worries me a lot, that we're embracing someone else's culture more than we do ours. So it's good to see people in different corners of the earth trying to preserve what we've had for, hundreds of years. So
absolutely,
that absolutely warms my heart. Brother Alfred Adams, that song, man, I loved it. I loved it.
Thank you, Kevin. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Yeah, I'm from New Amsterdam. Just I think JP grew up a couple of streets away from where I grew up, in the front street.
Correct.
Yeah, I grew up on 4th Street. So I am still active duty. I have a few days left in the Navy. Over 20 years of service. I retire. February 28th is my last day in the Navy. And as one entrepreneur said, when the end comes for you, don't let it find you sliding down the same mountain. Let it find you conquering a new one.
Amen.
So,
amen.
Myself and my wife, we've started an activewear business going on 1.5 years now. So if you, when you have some time, stop by our page. Even if it's not for you, share the link. I'll drop the link down in the chat so everyone can have access to it. It's www.fulleffect.shop. So that's the new mountain that I'm conquering. It's now time for me to dedicate myself to me. I've spent almost 25 years in public service combined in Guyana and in the United States. So it's time for me to do something for me.
Awesome. All right.
My family.
Thank you, cuz. Thank you, Brother Romeo. Go ahead, Alfred.
Yeah, I'd like to thank him for his service, protecting the peoples, and now it's time for you to take that experience and put it into your own thing. I love that.
Absolutely. Yeah, I also wanted to take the opportunity to thank you, my cuz, for your service. And I know that this is just the beginning. One chapter ends and another begins, all right? So I'll be there supporting you all along the way. So keep up the good work. And one love to you and your family, okay? Thanks for being on the show.
It was a great show today, man. You're doing a job, cuz. Keep the fire burning.
Yeah, man, I appreciate it. All right, so thank you all. So this brings us to the end of today's show. We went over a little bit, but I think it was well worth it. I want to thank our featured guests, Sister Maggie Harris. My Sister Maggie, thank you so much. I want to also thank Brother Alfred Adams for being on the show as well as a co-host and also as a featured performer. I want to thank all of you fans listening to the show on Facebook Live or watching the show, I should say, and all of our guests. My uncle is on the show, actually. His name is Samuel London. Uncle Sam, did you want to say anything? Samuel London is his name. He's 87 years young, so he's been around the sun a couple of times. And but I guess he's a little shy today. Anyway, we'll catch him next time. Vanessa, thank you for being on the Zoom stage, as we say. It's the Karna crew. And I see my friend Vincent Prasad, who is also on stage. Vincent, did you want to say anything? You have a shout out? Vincent is an author. He's also a poet. And he's got a few books in the works, which I will feature in the future show. So Vincent, the floor is all yours, my brother. Come on.
You're putting me on the spot, Pablo. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
Okay. Thank you. Yes. Fantastic job. Absolutely fantastic job. I think a large part of I think it was Kevin who said that the culture is dying in Guyana or disappearing slowly. I think a large part of that is because there are too many factions trying to distinguish themselves as separate and not part of Guyanese culture. But I think forums like these do a great job of establishing that we are all Guyanese, one Guyanese. So I think you're doing a fantastic job.
I agree.
As Pablo said, I write a little bit under the name Vic Pandal, but my name is Vincent Prasad, and hopefully you'll be seeing some more. I have 3 short stories right now at very affordable price of 99 cents each. I make them affordable on purpose so they can be, they're accessible to anyone and everyone, anywhere and everywhere. But hopefully I'll be producing a few more things in the near future. Thank you.
Awesome. You're welcome. Thank you. Vic Pandal, aka Vincent Prasad. Now,
that's right.
I read one of his short stories, and I tell you, the man has a wild imagination. Okay, what was the name of that story I read, Vic?
Is that the one with the kid?
Yes.
Okay, that was Bond Double Who.
Yeah. Oh,
Bond Double Who. I have a purely Guyanese short story too. The dialogue is in pure Creolese dialect.
Creolese.
It's called Salfish Sammy's Tabbage.
Salfish Sammy's Cabbage.
Tabbage. Tabij. Tabbage.
Tabbage. What is tabbage?
Okay, that's something that came from the East Asian Muslim community.
Okay.
It's a little tube, like about an inch long and a quarter-inch diameter, that's supposed to give you protection from evil.
Oh. Okay.
Tabbage.
Tabbage, yes.
Tabbage. Hey, Pablo, we need to get a tabbage each.
I know, man. So I'm looking forward to reading that soon, brother.
That's available. That's on Amazon.
Okay, good, good. I'm
Tabij.
gonna look for that. So let me get the
Yeah.
name again.
Salfish Sami's Tabij. Or
So
if you just go
Salfish
Sami,
Sami is his false
Salfish,
name.
yes, Salfish Sami's Tabij, yeah.
I like
But
that.
if you just go to my profile, Vic Pandal on Amazon, you go to Amazon and look for Vic Pandal, you'll see it come up.
So Vic Pandal on Amazon,
That's right.
VICPANDAL on Amazon. Go there, friends and family of the show, and let's support Brother Vic's creativity. Ayo! I see Vanessa Court is on the show. She's a contributor to the Karna, and I want to give her the final opportunity to come on and say something to the fans of the show. So Vanessa, you can unmute and come on and say something if you're willing. Going once, going twice. Okay, so Vanessa's being shy today. So once again, I'm going to wrap things up by saying thank you to everyone for being on today's show. Pablo's Kreleese Korner. Please share the link. Please spread the word. I think our show, this is our 11th show. So we're getting bigger and better. All right. And little dirty build down. Hand wash, hand make, hand come clean. Right? As our people say. And
So PablOGtee.
what I like about this new format is that I'm giving other creatives and entrepreneurs an opportunity in this segment of the show to network and share the good things that they're doing. All right. So that's what it's all about, guys. So one love, right? From
Yes,
Uncle
PablOGtee.
Pablo to you. Have a great weekend. God bless.
One thing I'd like
Thank
to say
you.
one thing to you, sir.
Go ahead, sir.
Is that Renford that's on there visiting with us?
Yeah, it's Brother Rennie on. Yeah, he's going to be a featured guest next show on the 19th.
Yeah,
Our
I
next
just
show
wanna-
will be
Nice.
on February 19th. And Rennie and Rennie will be our featured guest. So we're going to get more from him. But
just
thank you
wanted
for
to say-
being on the show today, Brother Rennie.
Yeah, I just wanted to say good morning to him. Good morning,
Yeah.
Brother Rennie.
Are you there, Brother Rennie? You want to come
Good-
on for a second?
Good morning, sir.
There you go.
How you doing,
Look
man?
at your face.
Hey,
I can't
that-
look at your face for an hour and not say good morning. That's bad manners. My mother
Hey,
would
I
slap
have-
me in the face.
I have to say, man, that was an awesome song. You had me jamming. It was fun.
Oh,
Nice.
Do more like that, guy. I
Thank
love it. I love it. I love it.
Just
Nice,
wanted to
nice.
say good morning to you, sir.
Thank you. Same to you, bud.
So good morning, Rennie. Brother Rennie.
Blessings, man.
All right.
Blessings,
Blessings.
man.
Thanks for being on the show. And
Maggie,
thanks to
it was great. Your
Thank you.
interview was great, Maggie. Just so awesome to have you here.
Sweet. So Maggie, Rennie is also a New Amsterdamer. He went to high school there. Yeah. And so
that's good. Good.
yeah. So New Amsterdam is
Thank
well
you.
represented. Also, we've got
Yes.
Linden, we've got across
I
the
feel-
river, we
Yeah,
got
I
all
feel
kinds
outnumbered.
of folks.
I feel outnumbered.
Well,
I
on the
love
good
your
on the
voice,
good side,
Alfred.
I am still from Linden too. So
Oh, okay,
you know,
good,
don't
good,
feel
good.
bad.
There you go. Wonderful, wonderful. All right, guys. Is there anyone else who want to say something? So, because I kind of missed Brother Rennie there. My apologies. Thank you,
No
Alfred,
worries,
for
no worries. I got your back, man.
you
I
got
your
my back. Co-host, man. I appreciate that.
Who's Dirk? Who's Dirk?
Nice.
I
nice.
love
Dirk.
Dirk.
Oh yeah, Dirk. Dirk is my buddy. That's my best friend, man.
He's on there too.
Brother Dirk, come on and say something to the fans.
Oh, there's
Hello,
Vanessa,
Dirk.
too.
You're on mute. Unmute your phone.
Oh.
Oh, this is Vanessa. Okay.
Hello.
Hi,
Hello.
Vanessa.
Hello.
Are you hearing me?
Yes, we can hear and we can see you.
Okay.
What
up, brother?
I had a glitch because
Okay.
infotech still leaves me in a funk, you know?
Okay.
So I was busy trying to get through to you and I finally succeeded.
Nice.
Lovely show. I thoroughly enjoyed it. It's my first
you.
time and I'm so happy that you are keeping the fires burning.
Thank you so much.
We really need to keep our Creolese culture alive. And I'm going to say hello to Maggie Harris. I loved
hi.
I loved it. Great to have some poetry that also speaks to some issues, you know, particularly how our ecology is going to be impacted by all this oil, you know. I loved Errol Brewster's work. Fabulous stuff, great stuff. And also, let me say hello to Alfred Adams, because I'm feeling nice today. I feeling nice today.
Nice, nice. I like it.
Pablo, I always love your work. I always love it, you know? And so the rolling boom boom had me.
So that was me. That was me narrating. To be fair, that was Brother Jam Morian's work. I just did the narration. So Jam,
okay.
Yeah, Jam was he was a bit shy. He didn't want to come on today. So hopefully, with him seeing what's going on, that we're all family, you know.
Okay. Well, let me leave you with something. Let me leave you with something that was was really prompted by Alfred's thing, huh?
Okay, go ahead.
Feeling nice today. So, well, I want to tell y'all how it raining here today, and I hope them drivers can see the way. Cause oh no, oh my God,
Oh, she got bad.
That's all right, Vanessa. She got some issues there.
But
so
you know
Vanessa,
what?
if you can hear me, just send that text to me, send the narration to me, and I will share it on the page. So I apologize on behalf of Vanessa for technological glitches there. All right. So that brings us to the end of the show. Anyone else? Going once, going twice?
Just want to say to all you New Amsterdam and Linden people, this is a Grove man in the house.
Grove in the house. Grove. Hey, Grove got to represent too. I have some friends from Grove as well. So, yeah, man, got to represent Grove. And of course, my uncle Samuel London, he hails from Islington Village on the, I think that would be the east bank of Berbice. And he's on the show, and I'm proud to have him here. And my best friend Dirk is here as well, who hails from Kitty, like Errol Brewster. So Dirk, do you want to come on and say hi to the fans?
Yo, what's up? Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. Go ahead.
All right, my man. Yo, great show, bro. Great show.
Thank you.
I'm doing my bike riding here, man. You know, I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying the whole program, bro. I really love it.
Nice.
Keep it going, Pops.
Do you have any birthday shout outs? Anyone celebrating?
Yeah, it was my birthday, bro. Last week. What's wrong with you?
So Dirk's birthday.
The 27th.
27th. And my other friend Trevor Williams, his birthday was the 28th, I think. So happy birthday to you, my brother.
Yeah. Celebration continues, my man.
I think it was Maggie.
Still celebrating.
I think it was Maggie's birthday too. Was it? Maggie, was it your birthday?
My birthday next week.
Okay,
nice.
So happy birthday.
Aquarius in the house, man.
Getting so old. I'm getting too old.
A lot of love. So what my hope for the show is that we can do more of this and get to interact with each other more and network and so on. And together we can help each other, lift each other up. All right.
Yes.
So the theme for today's show was compassion. And I think we showed a lot of compassion today. It was also about consciousness. So we got a lot of environmental consciousness. We got some spiritual consciousness from the poets and the contributors today. So I want to thank you all once again from the very depths of my heart. And we will do this again. Again, our show times are the first and third Saturdays of every month. So the next show will be on the 19th of February. And our featured guest will be none other than Brother Rennie. All right.
Rensford,
so I'm looking forward to that. Rensford,
our brother. James, before you go, sir, please, if you speak to Vanessa.
Yes.
She was getting ready to share something with us. And she started out by speaking about how much it was raining. And it so happens that's like reality just injecting itself. Yeah. And it took her power and she's gone. And so that, please tell her that the rest of the poem was very much there. She wasn't there, but it was completed by her just disappearing from the screen,
Yeah,
that was pretty powerful.
Reach out to her.
That's pretty powerful. Very, very powerful.
Absolutely. Okay, guys, it's a wrap. Uncle Pablo out. Y'all have a great weekend, okay? Thanks for
Peace.
being on the show.
Thank
All right.
you, sir.
Take care.
Be safe.